And lower right-hand quadrant it's the inner objective, so it's the external collective. It's what we can observe from the outside about the group. So these could be laws, it could be structures, it could be systems, it could be an organizational chart in a corporation. How we create structure impacts everything else, and everything else impacts structure. We're going to talk about more how these four quadrants affect each other. Now, normally, people lean one way or another. We see patterns where people either lean internally and they ignore the external, or they don't tend to it very much, and others that only tend to the external and ignore what's going on inside of them. So I'm going to be very broad here, and it's not always true, but if you work with tech people in Silicon Valley long enough, you come to realize that a lot of them hang out on the outside. Self-awareness, internal awareness, emotional intelligence, body awareness is not as sharp as their ability to observe, measure, create code and all of that. On the flip side as well, some people are more one-on-one types. They do better like individually or by themselves. And other people do better collectively. So all four of these perspectives are always here. It's just a matter of what we're tending to and at what time and how often. Do we lean into the individual? Do we lean into the collective? Do we lean internally? Do we lean externally? These are some of the things we're going to be exploring today. So that upper left-hand quadrant, the I, that's where we're going to be hanging out today. And in the I, there are what we call 5 domains that we like to focus on, and that is actually on your handout as well. And those 5 domains are always here, whether we're aware of them or not as well. Consciousness. We are all conscious. Consciousness, in a very simplified definition, I'll geek out with anybody later about what consciousness is that which registers everything else. Uniqueness. We all have a uniqueness to us. We have unique talents and gifts and passions and abilities. It's what I call your superpower. Everybody has a superpower here. Some of us are more aware of our superpowers than others. Some are afraid of them. Some are not afraid of them. Some scream them really loud, some hide them. So uniqueness is one of the domains. And mind. The way I like to define mind, and there are a zillion definitions for mind, but the way we're going to use it here, is your relationship to thought. How aware are you, consciousness, of thought as it arises? And how much do you grab it and identify with it? It's also your cognitive capacities, perspective-taking abilities. Can you only take in your perspective, or am I able to take in the perspectives of everybody in this room before I shut down or fight, flight, or freeze? Emotion, it's feeling sensations is the way I like to put it, because it's actually a visceral experience in your body. And when I go over what emotions are, I actually have a really cool chart that will show you the different emotions, how they arise and where they're felt in the body. And body. The definition and how we're using body is presence. What is your presence, and how conscious are you in your body? How embodied are you? Some people are very disembodied. As an example, in Silicon Valley, I use these poor tech guys as an example all the time. They're often very disembodied. They're very heady. They're so incredibly smart, they live in their mind. And they don't have much attachment to the other, it's what I call the other intelligences of the body, which is the ability to feel and to sense and to perceive what's going on in the world and what's around them. So these are the 5 domains in that upper left-hand quadrant, subjective. We are only going to be focusing on 2 of them. The thoughts we have and the emotions that arise. Thoughts and emotions own you, like this happy woman being strung along by a string. Thoughts and emotions own you, like a puppeteer, until you become aware of them. So a lot of what we're going over today is your awareness of the thoughts that arise, the emotions